Hello and welcome to Brighton Pier, the world famous Brighton Pier, full of rides, attractions, entertainment, eateries, just about everything you can imagine in one place. It's sort of the UK's answer to the Santa Monica Pier, where you have loads of attractions all in one place that people flock down, particularly during hot days, and enjoy with their families, enjoy with their partners, and enjoy with friends. So what we've done is we've come in January, where it's a little bit cold and the wind speed is slightly above 20 miles an hour. We will just point out it's going to be 45 plus tonight, but at the moment it's only 20. It's not too bad here. It's not like, beautiful sunshine by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not too bad. And we thought perhaps we would get on some rides while we were here. Now, we know that they have Super Fridays. Sadly, I work Fridays, so I couldn't get down here to kind of experience the Super Fridays and have fun with it. So we thought we'd come down today and we would have a look. However, nothing is open bar one or two rides. The real point for coming here was to get on air race, because I love air race. As you know, it's my favourite ride at Drayton Manor, and it all started here. The first air race in the UK was here at Brighton Pier. So this is where we came back to have a look at it, but it's shut. The rides that we see around us are shut due to weather conditions. Now, it's a little bit frustrating, because when you go on the Brighton Pier website, it's 364 days a year, it's always open, the rides are mainly undercover, so it's not a problem. And when we look at it, we have 3 rides that are undercover and 1 children's ride, where you've got a couple of roller coasters, a log flume, which we'll take you around to shortly, air race, and a massive booster, which obviously isn't undercover, because that'd be insane. Everything else is sort of out in the open. Now, most of it is down to wind effects today. It is a little bit blustery, but rides like this should probably be able to open in the wind. The Waltzer's open, the Twister's open, and there's quite a lot of rides that are undergoing maintenance. Now, we understand that they are going to have to do maintenance on these rides, but it isn't advertised anywhere. It isn't advertised anywhere at all. And even rides like Air Race, which we've just been round to, and we will show you, is closed due to the weather conditions, which is just a bit strange. Turbo, fully understand that. That thing stalls at the best of times, and you've probably seen on our YouTube channel already, we got a video of it stalled and being recovered. So I'm not surprised that's shut due to the weather. Bit surprised about this one, bit surprised about the other ones. And the other kind of undercover one there, the Dodgems, you actually can't get on because they're using it as a maintenance area for their Glaxer ride, which we'll look at again shortly. So rather than go on rides because there's nothing open to go on, we will show you around and we will show you some of the close season maintenance that we're doing and kind of how the rides look and what the lineup is for for 2018. We're not expecting anything new here. For those that don't know the rich history of the kind of the pier, one of the key ones on this was the Ranger ride. We don't actually know where the Ranger ride went, but when you go to like Legoland and you see the models of Brighton Pier, the Ranger ride is very much featured, and it was a key part of the pier. The big double swinging pendulum sort of ride, was kind of a benchmark in all the advertising, and it has now sadly gone. But you've had other rides on here, rides like a top spin, like a Terror Rack, which they had at Pleasure Island. They have big rides on the end of this pier. They've got a looping coaster over there, they've got a spinning wild mouse coaster here, they got an air race over there, they got a double drop log flume, which is standard travelling rides, but still good quality rides at the end of the pier. Wristbands are great value options. However, as you'll see as we walk around, perhaps not riding them individually is, but we'll see if we can find something open, we'll see if we can get on something, and we'll show you what there is. Now it's certainly quite quiet here on the end of the pier. There are 3 people that we can see. Now we believe, as we said, the water, which is right here, aptly demoed. I mean, look at this. Look at this for an image of when you can't ride and when you can ride. It's one of the stranger things I've seen. We believe the water is actually open. We know the Twister ride over there, which you may have seen just behind the Dodgems, is open. So the Crazy Mouse there, that isn't open today due to weather conditions. The Dodgems aren't open because, as you may have seen, if we pan quickly back around now, you'll see down the end they're actually painting and testing the beams for the Galaxia ride, which is just down there. So that's the Techno Jump bounce ride which they've got here. And I have to say, every time we come it's in pieces. I don't think I've ever seen it working. That is currently undergoing winter maintenance, which we didn't know, and you know, it's a bit of a shame because, again, it's one we probably would have gone on and one that shouldn't be weather affected. The problem is they're using a Dodgems track because it's underground to test it and paint it. So that's also made the Dodgems close as well. And then the turbo coaster just here. So back around to the turbo coaster. You know, for the pier, this is quite a big thing. The looping coaster is used in all their advertising. It's used in a lot of promotional videos, and you know, it is a standard pin ferry ride. It is possibly the most uncomfortable ride I've been on, apart from maybe Colossus out in Benidorm. I can't even remember the park's name, but it is one of the most uncomfortable rides I've ever been on. It has recently, I'd say recently, within the last 5 years, been completely done, completely repainted. You know, it does run 2 trains, it runs very effectively. But due to the weather, it's closed today. And as I said, we have seen this stall. If you look back on our videos on our YouTube channel, you will see it being rescued from when it did stall in high wind. So I'm not shocked that one's closed. That one actually doesn't bother us at all. But, you know, you want to take in some of the maintenance. This is how it looks here. We're going to walk over here now. You can have a look at the Dodgems. And then have a look at what these guys are doing to it. And then we'll pan back around here and see what they've kind of done already. So this is what we'd love. This is what we'd really like theme parks to allow us to do, is come in and look at the closed season maintenance. Because whilst we can be geeky through in the year and we can enjoy riding these and, you know, telling people about them and who built them and everything like that, you never get to see this at a major theme park unless there's a serious problem with the ride and they've taken it apart. You know, right here now, they have taken this ride just over here. Apart from winter maintenance, you can see where they've sprayed the joints to make sure there's no cracks in it, and then taking it over there, rubbing it back down and repainting it for the new season. It is just amazing to see, and whilst it's disappointing it's closed, it's just brilliant. It really is brilliant to see it. Another ride that is open today is the Horror Hotel. If I don't lose my voice in the meantime, the Horror Hotel, we actually went on this a couple of years ago and we just didn't get it. I can't lie to you, we just didn't understand what was going on. It's a bit windy here as well. We're just going to move behind the shed. That's made absolutely no difference whatsoever moving behind the shed. But no, we didn't get the Horror Hotel. These rides, I think it's worth noting that the rides are sort of £4, £4.50 to go on it individually. We'll have a look at some of the prices as we go around. But we'll cut for now and we'll go somewhere a bit less windy. So we have taken refuge in this lake. area here. So just in here's the arcade. We'll quickly pan around to the right now. Arcade and fairly new play area, which opened I think a couple of years ago, just inside of here, and then the new Horatios, which the pier has been advertising continuously on their Facebook pages, is just there. That is all open as well. So as you've just seen as we walk past there, Horror Hotel open, the Helter Skelter very much not open, under a lot of scaffolding, probably being repainted for the 2018 season. As you move across to the carousel, it is closed due to weather conditions, which is staggering, absolutely staggering. This isn't, we're not even going to go there. It's closed due to weather conditions. And as you swing round to the air race, sadly, which is, you know, if we could pick one ride to go on, it would have been the air race. That is also closed due to weather conditions. Now, as you may have seen as well, it's £4.50 to go on the Horror Hotel per person, and it's £5 per person to go on the air race. So there's no doubt about the fact they want you to buy wristbands when you come to Brighton Pier, which isn't a problem because the wristbands work out usually about £20, which is quite reasonable given the location, given the rides available to you. You know, when we talk about kind of along the seaside resorts where we come from in Hayling and Portsmouth, you kind of look under the £15 mark for the attractions they have. For some reason, Little Hampton, they think they can charge £20, but you know, I have nothing nice to say about Harbour Park, sadly. I think it's a horrible place to visit. And then you come along to Brighton and you expect to pay £20 for the rides. But you know, in that £20, you would get 2 roller coasters, you would get an air race, you would get your standard twister, your waltzer, a booster, you know, great value for £20 when you're here. The only problem is that we kind of nearly considered purchasing one yesterday to come today, and if we'd had bought a wristband, I had a feeling we probably couldn't have got a refund on it, and nothing's open apart from kind of 3 or 4 rides that, you know, we can really see down our local fair. So a bit disappointed on that front. So as we continue to walk around, you know, you'll notice a couple more closed rides. We're just here now by the Wild River. It might actually be open, but realistically, you know, it's 6 degrees. The wind is 21, 22 miles an hour. I don't think anyone's going to be going on the river ride today. So that's the top end of the park covered. We're now going to walk that back down past Horatios and have a look at some of the smaller rides. Some of them are open, some of them are again undergoing maintenance as we work our way back down the pier. And go stop in the arcade, I think. So there it is, that is our move up and down the Brighton Pier, again soon to be known the Palace Pier. For those that didn't know, it used to be called the Palace Pier, massive uproar when it became Brighton Pier, but going back to Palace Pier, I believe shortly, sometime this year. So we wanted to bring you some rides, we wanted to bring you some attractions, and in the end we've probably done much like we did down in Hayling Island, where we kind of showed you some close season maintenance and what's happening in Brighton Pier for 2018. And you know, it's a bit of mixed reviews because part of us think we wanted to get on some rides today, and we do believe, although the weather's not great, that some of these rides should be open, and certainly would have been really disappointed if we bought wristbands, especially in advance. But the other part of us thinks, well, you know, we always go on about theme parks and attractions and things maintaining their rides, but you can clearly see what they're doing. You know, with the Glaxo ride, you can clearly see they're taking it apart, they're testing it for cracks, they're repainting it, which is great news. They're not just rubbing it back down or anything like that, they're completely repainting it, putting it back together all ready for the 2018 season. And that goes with some of the other attractions as well, which you can see they're taking apart. You know, we've just seen the little jump, I think it's called the 220, I think it was called, which is just a little kind of a frog hopper side bouncing ride for the children. You know, it's been completely taken apart, it's been completely maintenance. So we understand that maintenance needs to happen. I do feel though, because we visited the park's website, that maybe they should be a little bit clearer about what's happening, when it's happening, and how, you know, wind and things might affect your day, and kind of the policy that if we had bought a wristband, what would we be doing? Well, what we'd be doing is the only rides for adults would have been the waltzer, the twister, and a log flume that we have no interest in going on, and then you have a couple of children's rides which are undercover, and then you have the Horror Hotel. But you know, out of probably the rides that are here, I would argue that 60 to 70% of them are closed, you know, including their big rides, both the roller coasters and the air race and the booster. All their 4 big rides are shut. So, mixed bag, mixed reaction. You know, it's been a nice get along here to Brighton, have a look on the pier. We haven't had a look on it for a long period of time now, so it's been really nice to do that, but at the same time a little bit disappointed with the outcome. But we hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed some of the pictures. Again, we filmed in 4K so you can see the absolute best of what we're seeing, and we hope you join us next time. You know, the close season is nearly over. We're nearly back to an open season now, and we will definitely be back to Brighton sometime during the year, and we'll see all these rides in action. Thank you for joining us. My name's Adam. This has been UK Theme Parks, and we'll see you next time.